Are you gonna be in the vlog?
I don't know. You're going to be out most of the time.
Doesn't matter. It's not often that we get to go somewhere when it's just me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Since we've had kids, it's been going through that time period of when they're small. Nobody wants to watch your kids and stuff like that. So you kind of have to you gotta stay home, or you gotta
Take them with you.
take them with you, or if somebody does watch them, it's only for a limited time.
Yeah, but this time it's like a weekend, so.
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's go ahead and open this up. We are back again. The Opposites Attract podcast.
Opposites still attract.
See there, it's been so long, I forgot the name of the podcast.
Oh,
Well, it still do attract. I still don't understand you.
what are you talking about?
I just don't understand you.
Same here.
I don't get you. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, how does this work? Like, you so quiet and to yourself, and
That's a good
I'm
thing. We be
just,
to yourself, right?
yeah, and I'm like the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We just work well together. I'm loud and speak my mind a lot.
Yeah.
You're just very reserved, and you just kind of keep. I guess I do know that when you do have something on your mind, you'll it'll come out.
Mm-hmm.
It'll come out.
That's how it is.
I feel like I don't know. What do you have to be mad or something, or pressure?
Yeah.
Pressure. Why do you have to get angry just to like express yourself?
I don't know, cause you know how I am. It's like I don't get mad a lot. So when I do get mad, that's when I come out and be like a whole different person. But when I'm quiet, I keep things to myself. I'm just calm and mellow.
Introverted personality.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So people think I'm extroverted when I don't. I don't feel like I'm extroverted at all. I feel like I'm reserved, but if I'm comfortable around a person, I can like appear to be extroverted.
Yeah.
But when I'm around like a lot of people, I'm like in the back, just chilling, just like I'm gonna just look at everybody and scope everything out, let everybody talk. If somebody wants me to say something, then I will, I'll give my input. But I'm not going to be the first to raise my hand unless it's something I really feel, led to talk about.
Mm.
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just let other people just say it.
Yeah.
I remember when you did your the pipeline, the leadership pipeline. I'm sure that there were times they asked y'all, hey, does anybody want to answer this question? Or does somebody want to, give their input? Did you ever put your hand up?
No, I didn't. I just write down notes.
She's like, nah, I'm not talking. I'm not talking. Any opportunity I can avoid to talk, I'm not going to take it.
Yep.
So, been a minute since we dropped, a podcast here. I know you told me not to say that, but I can't help it because I feel like we owe people, some sort of
explanation.
I don't know about. I wouldn't say an explanation, but more of an update.
When was the last time? It was like
4 months ago.
So that was like
it was episode 7 when we talked about being a Christian in an ungodly world. I remember it because we were like sitting a little bit further back than we sitting right now, and yeah, that had to been around maybe March.
It was like February
or March or something like that.
Yeah.
I know that around that time period, a lot of things were going on here at home. Nothing bad, but
just been busy. That's
yeah,
all.
Just you'll see like when we progress with this podcast because it is going to be about parenting, and we're just going to give you our perspective and what we've been dealing with, what we are looking to have to deal with as time goes on, and how we just manage it at the end of the day. But it is June. Somebody had a birthday. I don't know why I didn't think to make like a special short or video or something for her, whatever the case may be. But she had a birthday. Why am I talking for you? Tell everybody, like, when was your birthday?
It was at the beginning of the month, June 6th. And I turned a bit 40.
No, I wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna let
I don't
you.
mind.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person I don't mind telling my age. Some people die. I don't want you to know I'm like in my 30s or early 30s or in late 30s. You know, people say that, but I don't mind telling people how old I am. So
Why do you think a lot of women don't like to tell people how old they are?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess they probably feeling judged. I don't know.
What's the
I don't
what
know.
is the hide?
I don't know.
You know, it's like, oh, you're 30. Oh, or you're 46. Like, who really does that? I don't know.
I don't mind saying how old I am. I ain't got nothing to shame about. Like,
I think I know why.
I mean, it's like this. A lot of people,
I,
when I tell people how old I am, they's like, I thought you was 20 or 21. That's a good thing.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I think I know why a lot of women lie about their age or prefer to not say it. That probably can lead to another subject on another podcast, which I don't really want to get into right now. It's more so along the lines of like relationships and what is desirable to a man. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there. We'll probably make a mental note, and maybe we can talk about it because it just dawned on me. Why some women are ashamed of their age, but I know that you've never really been afraid to tell people how old
no.
you are, and a lot of people don't know this, but she's older than me.
Hmm.
She's just not by much, but I'm
Like a
30.
year, a few months
Yeah, I'm 38. I'll be 39 in November, so I will be joining you in the 40 club next
next year.
year. Um, hard to believe, but you're only as old as you feel. And I do have aches and pains, and I am tired all the time. I
Yeah, that's
feel,
coming.
I already feel that way, but I know a lot of it has to do with just various different things and parenting. I think that when your kids are smaller, you feel a lot more
Hmm.
tired and stuff like that. And also today is another birthday.
Yeah.
We just got done singing happy birthday to our youngest son, who turned 9 years old today. And we thought that he forgot about his birthday because he wasn't talking about it. So,
No. He was talking about it at the beginning, like the first week of
yeah,
this month.
yeah.
But then after a while, he never bring it up again. He brought it up again. So,
No, I don't know. Some kids, they know when their birthday's coming and they're real excited and they just can't stop thinking about it and stop talking about it. But
hmm
the boys, they do so much. Like, they're so occupied. Like, if they're not playing with toys, they're playing video games. If they're not playing video games, they're making videos for YouTube. If they're not making YouTube videos, they're reading. They're always doing like something. Like, they don't really sit idle too much.
hmm
And I think that it just because he wasn't talking about it, we were under the assumption that he had forgot,
yeah,
and he didn't forget. He didn't forget at all. So
he didn't.
he did not forget. Um, why don't you tell everybody what we had going on about 2 weeks ago?
Oh, we had went on vacation. Our annual, family vacation that we take every year. So we went to Dallas, Texas. That's
First,
first time
first,
going to
first time,
Texas.
first time.
Yeah, so we drove. It took us about 11 hours or more. If we didn't have to do more stops, we would have got there sooner.
Well, let me stop you right quick. So when we got ready to go the first time, we got to Alabama.
Yeah, we got to like
Yeah,
maybe 20 minutes
about
until leaving
20.
home.
Yeah, 20 minutes after we left home, because we don't live far from the Alabama line. So some of you who are wondering, 20 minutes, like we really don't stay that far from Alabama.
Mm,
And we got there, and I was like, I forgot something, and so we had to turn around. It was one of those things that I didn't feel comfortable going far without,
mm,
and we had to just turn around, come back home, and that actually set us back an hour,
yeah.
about a whole hour, and we had to stop a couple of times, of course, to use the bathroom, and
Yeah, because when you're on the
you
road
know,
for like 10 and a half hours to 11 hours, you're not going to stop, drive straight through. You're going to have
no,
to stop, use the restroom, you
no
got to
one's
eat.
we're not robots.
So, yeah, you're going to have to stop.
I
That's
could
why there's rest stops on the interstate.
I could probably go a long time. I know I can go a long time without eating, but it's the bathroom thing that kind of forces everybody to have to stop.
No, I feel like I
You
need to eat
know,
if I'm on the road.
She did most of the driving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have to
Yeah.
keep energy, be energized because I'm
Yeah.
driving and I gotta eat and drink stuff. So
Yeah. So you go ahead and continue. You said we
Well,
were in Texas for the first time, and
yeah,
what did you think about the experience?
I mean, I like it. There is just the traffic. If you ever been to Atlanta, just imagine the traffic like that. I feel like Dallas. I know there's other cities that has horrible traffic, but from my experience, Dallas and Atlanta has the same kind of traffic on the interstate. So I like it. It seemed like it's kind of. I mean, we don't stay there or whatever, but just for visiting, it seemed like it was like a calm days that we've been. So
Yeah.
that's how I see it.
Yeah. You know, we really don't run into any problems when we go on vacation anyway. But just when you're around people, you kind of start to pick up on like vibes and energy and stuff like that and attitudes. Nobody was mean. I didn't feel or disrespectful. People were just really calm and chilled. It was actually the weekend of Father's Day. I didn't tell you this, but one of the highlights of the trip is this man yelling "Happy Father's Day" to me.
Yeah, I remember
when
that.
we were
walking
when we were
downtown.
walking downtown, going to one of the artifact museums that they had, and this guy just yelled out "Happy Father's Day." I'm like, how do you know these are my kids?
It could be like nephews.
Right, these could be my
Right.
nephews, but he just saw a man with kids, and I mean, he was right, But I thought that was pretty cool. Nobody ever did that to me here. But hold on, I won't say that. I have had people tell me Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Like if it's Father's Day and I'm out and about, I have had people say that to me. So, but I just like I agree with you. I think that it was a pretty calm place. Culture, a lot of different culture. You just a diverse community.
Yeah.
Here where we live at, it's not really like that. I mean, you got white people, you got black people, you might catch some Asians here and there, and you might see some Hispanics here and there. But over there, depending on what part of Dallas you went to, you had nothing but Hispanics.
Yeah.
And nothing but Indians and nothing but black people. Whatever the case may be, just different parts of whatever the case may be. You were mentioning about the traffic, and I told people about that. Like the traffic over there is crazy. So it reminds us of Atlanta. But I think it's just because we live in a slow city.
Yeah.
I don't think it. I think that they're used to that over there. So that's normal to them, But to us, it's like, oh, these people are crazy, man. Like switching lanes and stuff, which is why she drove. I'm not embarrassed to say it, but she drove the whole time we were there because I don't do well under that type of pressure.
Y'all don't mind
I
driving.
get aggravated. I start yelling and throwing my hand out the window and just speeding, trying to catch people who cut me off. I don't. Yeah, that's just me.
I would say pull over, I drive.
But I think the biggest thing is, I get sleepy.
Yeah.
I get really, really sleepy when I drive on the interstate by myself. I took a really short day trip to Tallahassee, Florida for business, and that was hard for me.
That was only 2.5 hours.
That was still hard for me, like to keep my eyes open. No, it was like, well, yeah, it was nearly 3 hours.
Yeah.
Nearly 3
Like
hours.
2 hours, 45 minutes, or whatever.
Yeah, so it was not that, it wasn't that long. But if I'm alone and I don't have anybody to talk to, I get bored. Driving is boring to me. I used to couldn't wait to drive when I was a teenager, and every opportunity that I got, I would get in the car. It's somebody's car and go. But now I don't want to drive at all. We got 2 vehicles, and I don't like driving unless I have to go to work. If I don't have to go to work, I'm like, here's the keys.
No.
Just go. I'll just sit here. Most of the time I won't fall asleep, but every so often I will doze off a little bit. Even though most of the places we go are like less than 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
Like the gym and the grocery store, which is around the corner, or if we're going to, one of your family members' houses, which is really about a good 15 minutes away,
Yeah.
if that. So it's not really, we don't live in a big city. we don't. So we live in a small city.
Yeah.
So that was a long-winded explanation or update of June. Um, I know ever since the last podcast, we've been dealing with a lot with our kids. Um, spring break was around the time, a little bit before that, when we did our last podcast,
Mhm.
and we were really honing in on academics when it comes to all three of our kids, making sure that we were doing all that we could do to ensure that they were getting everything that they needed from home, because
Yeah.
you can't depend on the teachers to do everything. So our oldest son, he had exams, and we had to make sure he got to the locations to make sure he had his exams, and that was squared away. And then one of our other kids, we had to really spend a lot of time with just some teachers and other faculty members at school. And then we have one other son that really kicked butt this year. And we didn't really have to do much.
No, yeah.
He may actually like school a lot.
Mhm.
He does. But as far as like the attentive attention that the kids get here at home, she's the one that is responsible for that. Like, why don't you let everybody know, like what exactly do you do when it comes to their education? What was up with that face? Like, come on, man.
I don't know. I mean, basically, I just help them with homework. That's the part, because you help them with homework, reading, math, all that stuff. Because when you have a kid that's in elementary, like I talked to one of the teachers the other day, and she was like saying they teaching geometry in fourth grade, and that's
That's
like,
crazy. That is insane.
I remember taking geometry in late middle school, going to high school.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
so now it's like they teaching them geometry, like basically algebra work in elementary. So that's gonna be kind of tough. I told them starting next month is the 1st of July. So starting all next month, gonna have to be limited to TV and phones, and then we gotta get the whole month of July ready for them to go back to school in August, because that would be here once you know it. So so I just had to make them remember stuff back from school, because they've been out of school for a month now. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
had to go back to the computer, laptops, and do stuff. Because I even have with our youngest, I have him do hook on phonics for like reading and stuff. It's like once he get the hang of it, he get the hang of it. Then when he stop doing it, he lose it. So that's why I say starting tomorrow, we need to go back to doing it every single day for like 2 hours a day, just for him to be better when he go back to school. Because nowadays, kids, when they go back to school, because have a summer break, and they go back to school, they forgot everything. I
Yeah.
feel like the kids should always read the whole summer. That's why they say spend time reading with your kids during the summer. That's what it should be.
Yeah. Children, especially at their age, the developmental skills are they're critical.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like us. Like, me and you cannot read like a book for 2, 3 years, but
And the thing
we'll
is,
still
it's
remember how
like,
to read. That's not, we're fully developed, but they're
yeah.
not.
So the thing is, it's like they're making it so tough on kids what to read and stuff. They want them to do all this reading like a short amount of time, but then when they take a test in third grade, they have to pass their annual test to pass to the fourth grade. So that's what it is now. It's not like, okay, if you fail, you go to the next grade. But no, you have to pass your test to move on to the next grade. So that's why I like, well, got a lot of work to do. So
Yeah, and one of our kids definitely needs that attention. And we're being transparent here. We're not one of those people that want to make it seem as if we have the perfect family, and like people portray themselves on the internet, because everyone likes to like show off their kids' report cards, like when they
yeah, I know.
make.
I never used to do that.
Like everyone likes, oh, my kid made AB honor roll, blah blah blah. Look, I don't know why, but you wouldn't do that if your kid made like 2 A's, 1B, and 3 C's. Like, you're not gonna show that. I guess because it taints the idea that your child is perfect and that you're doing a wonderful job as a parent, when that really shouldn't even be something that you should be sharing with the world.
Yeah.
And you really won't even show the world that my kid made a C, a D, and all F's. Like, that's not anything that they want to display. I just feel like, look, if you're not going to, like, show everything, like, don't show anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can congratulate your kid and give them the affirmation that they need and the encouragement to do better in the household. You don't have to show the world. The world doesn't care if your kid may be on a roll. They don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you might get a little hit of dopamine from getting all of the likes and the congratulations and stuff, but they're saying congratulations to you. Your child probably is not even seeing those comments, if we're being honest. So yeah, we don't
But then
do
they
that.
probably think it's like they, proud parent moment that their kid got all A's or A be on the roll, but still.
I get that. I understand, but it's just everyone doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But there's like specific people who do that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so. It is what it is at the end of the day. So yeah, that's pretty much the academic side when it comes to the kids. In the last school year, and then like she said, they got another month and a couple of weeks before they go back to school. So
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to make the best of the rest of the summer. We want to try to enjoy them as much as we can and have fun with them because I feel like this coming school year is going to be really challenging for all three, especially our youngest
Mm-hmm.
and our oldest because this is his final year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's going to be talks of college
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I was talking to him about that the other day, and he kind of knows what he wants to do, but he's still kind of on the fence. So I'm like, well, don't force it. Just think hard about it, what you want to do, so we can figure out what we need to do to help you do that.
Yeah.
Um. So I know we're like 22 minutes into this, and we've been talking a lot about the kids, which that's kind of what I wanted to like highlight anyway on this episode 8, which I don't know the title of, but we'll figure it out when I upload it.
Figured out what we're talking about.
Yeah, so
It's raining again.
yeah. Parenthood 101. Like, let me ask you a question. So, do you remember? I'm sure you do. When you found out, just you, that you were having a baby, like what was going through your mind?
I mean, that's like so long ago. I have to remember. I mean, it's like, your first time parent, mom, dad, and you have to think about, okay, well, what's the next step? Like, have to think, like, okay, well, how this kid future is gonna be? Am I gonna be a good parent, or are you gonna be a good parent?
We were very young.
Yeah.
By the way, we were young.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how old? 20?
21, 22,
2021?
22. I know, 21.
Yeah, so that made me 19 then.
Mm.
20 or 19? I can't remember. It was very young.
Yeah.
Younger than it probably should have been. So, like you said, you were, just worried, concerned about, am I going to be a good mom or you going to be a good dad?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, when you have kids that young, just like you really can't do much of anything because you have kids. And sometimes we think about that, but then, you glad that you have kids. Because it's like when they are older, we can get our life back and stuff.
Oh, I can't wait.
We can do so much stuff.
I can't wait. People keep telling me, you're going to regret that. You're going to miss them when they're young. I say, yeah, I probably will, but
it's better have them young and then have them late. Because then, I mean, I don't know. Because I guess if you didn't have kids at a young age, you have so much stuff to do. You still living life.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out life and stuff. But then when you have kids at starting late 30s, 40s, you start to think, okay, well, you might be in your 60s when your kid graduated high school. So it's like,
either way it goes, it's going to be a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter whether
it doesn't matter how old you be.
It really doesn't matter. Like, they say, like, if you have your kids too young, you won't be able to enjoy your life while you're young. you won't be able to go out and hang out and party and do all these things when we really aren't those type of people anyway. Like even when we were younger, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
That just wasn't us. The only thing that we probably that we're just now starting to do now that we didn't get to do when we were younger is travel.
Mhm.
We couldn't do that at all for a number of reasons. Number one, we couldn't do it because the kids were like so young, especially our oldest. And number two, we didn't have the money to
Yeah.
do it. That was probably the biggest part
Yeah.
right there. So I don't think that either of us were scared when we found out. I remember us being excited every time we found out we were having
Yeah.
a kid. Like, not, it was never a feeling of, oh no, oh
Like what I'm
no,
gonna
what are we
do?
gonna do? Like, oh, we can't do this. Fear. It was always excitement. It
Mhm.
was always joy. It was always like, okay, let's start picking our names.
Yeah.
That it was always like that, and I think that's a big sign that you're meant to be parents. You're meant to be parents because we both knew that we wanted kids.
Yeah.
Like even before we even met, like we knew we wanted. At some point in our life, we wanted children.
Yeah.
I knew that when I was young before I met her, and she knew it. She wanted kids. Um, and you just mentioned it the other day on our walk. Like you were like, I didn't think I was gonna get married.
Yeah.
You know.
But it was a question you asked, and I was thinking like that. So
Yeah. But yeah, just the thoughts that go through your mind when you find out you're about to have a kid. There's so many things because you're first time parent and you don't know what to expect. You just know there's gonna be a little kid and a baby and diapers and milk and all this different type of stuff. And thank God that we had help.
yeah.
We had help. We did not have to be in a position to where we had to do it by ourselves. Like your mom helped, your grandmother helped,
Mhm.
my grandmother when she was alive and you know able to comprehend things,
Mhm.
she helped a lot.
Yeah.
My grandmother helped a lot because there were times like your mom had to work, and your grandmother was working at the time, but
Mhm.
my grandmother was home all the time.
Yeah.
So she was like, just bring the boys, bring the boys, bring the boys. When you had to go to work or when I had to go to work, we always had help, and we have not paid a dime
Mhm.
to daycare.
Mhm.
Not a dime. And I think that, this is the type of stuff that makes me grateful that I don't think about every day. Because I hear people paying $600 and stuff a month
Yeah.
just for daycare. I'm like, wow.
It's a lot.
Because they watch the kids. Some of the kids go to daycare like right after school, or like
Mhm.
after school care, whatever. And yeah, we never had to pay for any of that stuff because we had help with our kids. But
Yeah.
now where they're at an age now where they can take care of themselves for the most part,
Mhm.
because our son's almost an adult and we trust him to take care of his brothers if we're not around.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to say who's going to babysit our kids and all this different type of stuff. It's him. He's there. He stepped in that role as far as like being responsible. Um, but yeah, every time we ever had a kid, we felt that way, and it was always a mystery
Yeah.
trying to figure each child out. Like I think every baby was different.
Mm. Well, all our kids are different.
Yeah.
So the only thing they have in common is drawing. That's about it. Or playing games. But
Yeah.
personality, they all different.
Yeah, they got different they got very different personalities, but they have similar interests.
Mhm.
I say that much. So, um, so as far as like parenthood, when they were babies and then toddlers into where they are right now, how challenging do you think it is, like on you?
I mean, like growing up as them, like trying to help them learn things. That was a challenge. That's like the most challenging for any parent because you have to be like teaching your kids from right from wrong and teach them how to read, teach them how to write, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was a challenging part.
The academic parts and stuff like that. And then there's the for me, being the man, of course, and having all boys because I don't we don't have any daughters. Um, Still something I think about every day. Not every day, but every so often.
Yeah.
It is what it is. God doesn't make no mistakes, but knowing that I got boys, I feel like my responsibilities are different than hers. Like as far as like teaching them qualities of being a man. Leadership. Excuse me, leadership. Um, how to be dependable, how to be trustworthy, and things of that nature. And it's not easy
Yeah.
because you're gonna have like two different teachers in life. I feel your parents and then the world. And if you don't do your job as parents, teaching your kids the qualities and the values that you want them to adhere to, then the world will do that. The world will teach them whatever the world wants them to know,
Yep.
and that's that. And for me, I'm wrestling right now with trying to teach them the right thing, whilst also trying to convince them why the world's way of teaching is wrong. Because we get them questions like, well, everybody else believes that. Why don't we believe that? Everybody else does this. Why don't we do this? Everybody else is, on one page and we're on another page. And you can't help but bring in, the Christian values at that point. And just, the Bible tells us that we're supposed to be set apart. God calls us to be holy and to not be like the world. You can't explain the difference between your core values and the world if you don't bring Christ into the picture.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. That's the only explanation. It's the only way that gives you the pathway of explanation as far as lifestyles go. Because there are some people who I've heard parents say, we're not going to force anything on our kids. We're just going to let them find their way. Like we're not going to like indoctrinate them, or we're not going to push our beliefs on them, or we're just going to let them figure it out, in other words. And I'm like, that's crazy. You just want to let your kids figure it out. The Bible tells us in the book of Proverbs to train up a child in the ways that they should go.
Yeah.
Which means that it is our responsibility to teach them godly values and tendencies and about what the Word of God says. God never said, well, just leave them to their own imaginations and to follow their heart like the world says. It's interesting that the book of Jeremiah says that the heart is deceitful above all members of the body. And the world says, follow your heart. God says, no, don't follow your heart. Follow me. That's what he says. So teaching our kids these things while battling mantras and worldly wisdom is hard.
It is.
It is really hard because what you pour into them, the world is pouring something else on the other side, and you have to filter that out, like get that out of their heads and stuff like that. Because the thing is, we can't police our kids. Like we can't watch them all day.
No, we can't.
No, we can't. We just can't. They go to school, they're hanging around their friends, and we don't know what their friends believe in or what their parents believe in. We don't know what they're talking about at school. I don't have to know what they're talking about at school. I went to school. I know what they talk about.
Yep.
I know what they do. You know what they talk about. You know what they do. Nothing's changed except for how I just think it's worse now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And as parents, like we cannot afford to drop the ball. We can't afford to drop the ball. We can't afford to allow the world to come into the picture and to take over.
Yeah.
That's why I say that parenting is hard. Parenting is difficult. When you
It
do it,
is.
when you do it right, if anybody says that parenting is easy, you've lost your child.
You're not doing your job.
No, you've lost your job. You're your child. You're not doing your job. You lost your child.
Yeah.
I wish that growing up, I would have like had an opportunity to get some of how we raise our kids
Mm.
and how I treat our boys. I wish I had gotten that
Yeah.
when I was a kid. This isn't any disrespect to my family or anything, but it's just I think it kind of goes back to what we talked about when the kids are born. Like we don't know what we're doing,
Yeah.
and we just do whatever we think is best. I think that's what my folks did. Like we're just gonna do the best that we can, and hopefully, everything turns out well. But
Yeah.
I wish that because how we raise our kids, that's not how I was raised. I mean, what about you?
I mean, no, I mean, no. Like I said, like I told you before, it's like the way we doing it now with them, it wasn't like that when I was a kid. You know, I might have like that early on, but no, not when I was like teenagers. So yeah.
And that's when it matters the most. Like
Yeah.
when you're a teenager, like you can't pick the ball up and dribble and not go to the goal. Like you can't
Mm.
put the ball down. Like
Yeah.
once you get it going, you have to keep it going because again, mentalities and thought processes change all the time
Yeah.
in the world. All the time. The world is like constantly changing and people are accepting more and more and more what the world is spitting out at us. And the Bible teaches us quite different. God says that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and he does not change.
Mm.
God is consistent. He is dependable. The world is inconsistent because it can't make its mind up.
No.
One day this is right, 2 decades later it's wrong. One day this is how we do things, 2, 3 decades later, we no longer do that anymore. That's no longer acceptable. Like
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like and along with that, just people just getting dragged like a rag doll, confused as to what they should believe is because they're following the world system.
Yeah.
But when you follow the Lord, you have consistency in the word of God that tells us this is God's like this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to live and be glad in it. And I will take care of the rest.
Yeah.
And that's it. God never told us to figure anything out. He never told us to, well, just go out and I'm gonna put you on earth, just go out into the world and do whatever you feel like doing. That's not Bible. That's not how we're designed to be.
Yeah.
And I know that there's some parents out here who grieve a lot and sorrow because their kids didn't turn out the way that they wanted them to turn out. And then you kind of have to go back in time, like, well, did you take the time to spend with them? Did you teach them anything? Did you take them to church? Did you sit down and read the Bible with them? Did you teach them how to pray? Did you screen the friends that they had growing up? Did you watch to see what they were consuming? When you weren't looking, did you have hard conversations with them? Because again, you can't hide everything from your kids
Yeah.
because they're gonna find out stuff anyway. So you might as well just talk to them and confront them like head on. Because if you don't, and they figure things out on their own, there's not gonna be any room for you to correct them because they've already like accepted whatever it is they've stumbled upon.
Yeah.
And again, it comes back to like I said, parenting is it's hard.
It is.
It's really challenging but it's rewarding.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. Like we love our kids. We love them and we wouldn't trade them for the world. If it was up to me, we'd have a couple of more. If it was up to me, then yeah, but she ain't getting no younger, and
No, and nope.
neither am I. We really don't. Neither of us really want to start over. The only child that I'm looking forward to is my first grandchild, and hopefully that won't be until about another 12 years
12,
or
yeah.
so. I think I'll be ready in about another 12 and a half years or so. I think we'll be ready.
Yeah.
We should be, because as we grow older and we age, our mindset's changing. It's changing. We're accepting a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have accepted when we were younger. We are, approaching that middle age portion of life as parents. We're not young parents anymore. We've been there before. 20 and 21, we were there.
Yeah.
And now here we are at 38 and 40, like kids about to graduate high school. I would say we're veterans.
Yeah.
We're veterans. So I have people come to me, who have small kids, and sometimes they'll have questions like, well, I have anything I ever want to ask? And I know who to talk to. I'm like, well, I'll try my best, because I don't know how you do things in your home, but this is just how we did
Everybody's
things.
whole household is different.
Yeah, everyone's household is different, which is why we don't let our kids go just anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't know what people are teaching
Yeah.
in their homes, and we don't want to risk anybody undoing what we taught or what we teach,
Yeah.
because our kids are very well behaved. They don't have any problems in school, no behavior issues. They have leadership tendencies. Their teachers do nothing but speak highly of how they act, and that's just an illustration of what goes on at home.
Yeah.
I always say, like, if you ever question whether you're a good parent, look at the behavior of your child. Let other people tell you that, like, wow, your child is so well behaved, they have manners, they want to help other people, and these are things that are learned at home. Like, teachers don't have time to be teaching 30 kids that type of stuff.
No,
However many kids in the classroom.
no, that's the parents' job.
Yeah, so a lot of it is on us, and
Yeah.
your teachers are there. Honestly, you're not going to want to hear this, but they're just assisting you as far as what you should be already doing at home. They are the teachers, and they do have a role, but us parents, we have a role too, and that role is hard.
Yeah.
But we're here.
Yeah.
We're in it. There's nothing we can do to change it. And even when they're grown, we often talk about it, like they'll be out doing their thing in life, and we'll still be here.
Yeah.
We'll still be here in case they need help or advice, um, anything. Like, you don't stop being a parent.
No, not when your kids are 18 or
No.
21. Be like, no,
You don't
you still be
stop.
that parent.
I don't care if they're 30 or 40. You never stop being a parent. It just evolves. Like, you're not paying for football camp anymore or making sure that they eat, but it's more so you're just there as a safety net for them.
Yeah.
You can only hope and pray that they're like prospering in life or at that age. But we want to be here for our boys when they really need us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day about this. I'm about to close this video out. He was like, well, it was more so his wife. She said, us as parents need to really explain to our kids why it's so important for mom and dad to spend time together without them, like to go on date nights and to spend time together and fellowshipping with each other and building each other up, because there's gonna come a time where the kids leave. And they're not gonna be like, oh, mom and dad, I wanna just be here with you. Like, no, like, nah, they're gonna go.
Yeah.
They're gonna go out there, and it's just gonna be us at the end of the day. So, but we can probably talk about that in another episode. Just the importance of quality time
Yeah.
with us. So, um, do you have any closing remarks for us? I'm trying to not like
That's fine, though.
over talk you or anything.
I
So,
mean, just we try to put out good podcasts out there for y'all. So we be trying to figure out what we're gonna talk about. Like, we didn't know what we was gonna talk about today. Like, this was like a last minute thing. So
yeah, really was.
yeah, so we are trying. We are, like we always say, we're gonna try and put out more podcast videos out there for everybody to watch and see.
Like
So
trying is the best we can really
yeah, that's all we can.
say.
But
Like
then something comes up, we get busy. So
yeah, we don't want to. We just hate. Like I don't want to be that type of person to say that I'm going to do something and I don't do it. Like,
yeah,
and that's just not the type of people that we want to come across as. Because I know people look forward to these podcasts and
Yeah.
stuff, but at the same time, I think that if you're watching this, you probably have kids, or if you don't have kids, or you probably work or something like that, and you understand that in life, different things, different priorities have different levels.
yeah,
You know, our family's always going to be above everything. You know, God first, of course, but our family's right there. And if we feel like anything is off or something needs to be done or they need attention because they all are at an age where they really crave attention right now, we got to give it to them. We got to. And then balancing time between me and you, you know, making sure that we're good,
Yeah.
making sure, you know, you straight or and then she'll ask me, are you okay? Are we spending enough time together? Do we need to talk more? Do we need whatever? We need to make sure we're straight.
yeah,
And then, of course, you know, work and all that stuff. And these activities here just kind of take a back seat. But I do believe that, you know, just prioritizing the time management is not impossible because we didn't initially plan on doing this today.
No, we didn't.
You know, this was like out of nowhere. Like she came home. No, I forgot you were doing something. And it was about what 12 o'clock. I said we're gonna do a podcast. She's like, we are.
Yeah, we are,
What?
because I was gonna try to take a little nap.
Yeah, you still have time to take a nap.
No,
you
it's too
know.
late now.
It's not too late. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, you got
It's too late. I got things to
you got
do.
some things you got to do. So
Yeah.
it's okay. But anyway, we hope that you all enjoyed this episode here. And if you haven't, you know, comment on the video, your thoughts, if anything resonated with you. Like the video as well. Share it on your social media. And anything else?
No, that's it. I said my closure.
A woman of very just few words.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Peace.